if you want to.
Rocky Mountain Climate Organization is what you would put in your browser. I know I'm looking here at the studio. It's kind of showing a relief map of how the oil's spreading throughout the Gulf. And, you know, as I'm sitting here and I'm talking with Stephen Saunders and, you know, about the scope of this disaster, and, you know, Alan had called in, and the other caller also was talking about the government and how the, you know, past administrations and the Republican administrations have like stripped all these regulations, and maybe people are becoming more aware. And, you know, Stephen actually said, well, the industry kind of says, well, you know, they did what they did because there was a lack of oversight and regulation kind of enabled them to be incompetent, to cut corners that they wouldn't have done if someone had been just kind of looking over their shoulder. You know, as an attorney, I travel a lot of different areas of the state, and lately I've been spending a lot of time going up and down the Mississippi River on the West Bank, you know, in Convent, Donaldsonville, Port Allen near Baton Rouge. And as you drive around the Mississippi River, there's nothing but these gigantic refineries, chemical plants, big rows of barges, huge industrial, you know, complexes all up and down the Mississippi River. In the history of the port that we have here in the Mississippi, it's famously known that Governor Long put a low bridge across the Mississippi in Baton Rouge, thereby making it impossible for ships to continue probably as far. I probably could go up to St. Louis as far as I know. And he cut that off. And I was thinking when I was out there driving last week, I was looking at it and thinking what an incredible natural resource it is for industry when, say, you want to make a chemical. Let's say you want to make, you know, a chemical for lawn care or to make something in plastics. And you've got this huge port of New Orleans with just gigantic amounts of acreage, incredible access to fill up ships that take the stuff they make all over the world. But yet, these refineries, they are doing wonderful things in one way, but we got to remember that they're producing poison. They're producing chemicals and substances that we use commonly in civilized life and industry throughout the world, but that will kill us. Even a little drop of some of this stuff. Even when you talk about like the super fructose stuff they put in Coke, I mean, this stuff, when exposed to human beings in these intensified levels, these chemicals, is bad. And the issue of regulating these gigantic industries, that we're like begging them, please come into our state. Please, please build a plant. Don't worry, we won't bother you. You don't have to pay taxes. Are we going to step to the plate in Louisiana and protect the people of Louisiana not only from oil spills, but from other possible catastrophic natural disasters that could happen?
Well, we depend so much on our wildlife, you know, so we have to weigh what's most important, you know, the natural way, or, you know, these other big industries that come in with the chemicals and the oil and all that. You know, what is more obtainable, you know, what is right. And I think it's a natural way.
Well, and it seems like from talking to Stephen Saunders, and I guess if there's a message, you know, that we seem to be hearing is that, look, no matter how much of a laissez-faire, right-wing Republican you might be, no matter how much you love corporate America, there's got to be room for reasonable regulations of people that do very dangerous things. A lot of these and again, what's coming to my mind as we're doing this show is, don't forget the Deepwater Horizon. That one deep well is not the only ultra hazardous activity going on in Louisiana that could change your way of life, or even maybe take your life, or give you cancer, or poison our lands where we're trying to grow food. And we as a society, I think, have to insist with the people we elect and the people we choose to vote for public offices to take that into account, that we want to be protected, because industry, no matter how many big people you got, no matter how much money they got, that you can't always count on them to always be as responsible as they would be if they got somebody kind of looking over their shoulder.
Right, yeah.
And look, it looks like we're at the top of the hour. Carmen, great job researching the show. Dawn, thank you guys for the incredible preparation and bringing us this wonderful guest this week. I'm Russell Stegeman, attorney at law. If you got a problem that you don't want to talk about on the radio, you can always call me at 368-0123, and I will be happy to take your private calls. Or if you'd like to join us next week at 2 o'clock on Wednesday for the Legal Show, we will be back with another installment of our show about legal and social affairs and justice issues in New Orleans. We thank you very much for listening, New Orleans, and we'll see you next week.